What is going on, guys? Bretto Live back with another video, and today we have the WWE Week in Review Setup, episode 183. This is where we go over WWE Monday Night Raw and SmackDown of that certain week. We talk about the shows, tell you what I thought, it's a full play-by-play, what happens during the show. So if you miss Raw and SmackDown, tune into the Week in Review every single Saturday morning on the Bretto Live YouTube channel. And yes, guys, the news is breaking. I do have a second channel going on. It is called the Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'll leave a link down in the comments down below so then you guys could click it and head on over to the new channel. The Week in Review is still going to be popping every single week on the Bretto Live channel, but we're going to be doing podcasts on Raw and SmackDown and certain topics. So head on over to that channel. Again, it's called the Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'll leave a link in the comment section down below so you guys could check that out. But without further ado, let's jump into Monday Night Raw in this Week in Review setup. Let's get it. Starting over here, we literally opened up the show with Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley was in the ring with a microphone. He was like, before the show even gets started, no pyro, nothing. They started with Bobby Lashley, microphone in hand. Brock Lesnar, get out here. Calls out Brock Lesnar. Here comes Lesnar. No hesitation whatsoever to come out and face Bobby Lashley face to face. Comes out, and it's an all-out brawl. They start brawling. They get sent through the barricade. Bobby Lashley is definitely the aggressor of this fight. Sends him to the steel post. Sends Lesnar through the announce desk. This was such a wicked fight. I really enjoyed how Triple H opened this show with a bang. I love how he does that. He opens the show with a bang, getting our attention right away, gaining our attention. It's just wow. Very cool. I am looking forward to the match. I believe it's at the Crown Jewel, I would assume. But yeah, this was a pretty good opener, and I'm interested to see where it goes from here. Are they going to continue this storytelling on Raw and SmackDown, which I would assume they are, but I don't know what else they could do. I'm not going to lie, but I'm really excited for the match. It ought to be really decent. Jumping into our opening match of the night, it was the OC. The OC came out, and they had their first tag team action on Monday Night Raw in a while. They went up against the Alpha Academy, 2-on-2 tag team action. It's a pretty enjoyable match, and AJ Styles on ringside. And it was pretty good. In the end, we saw the OC hit the Magic Killer on, I believe it was Chad Gable to pick up the victory, and of course, they beat the Alpha Academy. I found it kind of odd. Corey Graves was like, the Alpha Academy have getting so much momentum over the past couple weeks. No, they haven't. They've been losing so many matches. What are you talking about, Corey? Anyways, Alpha Academy take the L to the OC. Pretty obvious. And of course, the Judgment Day come out. And they interrupt the victory celebration with the OC and AJ Styles. And they're like, you know what, Styles? We challenge you guys to a match at the Crown Jewel. So it's going to be the Judgment Day versus OC at the Crown Jewel. Looking forward to it. Very exciting. And AJ Styles is like, why don't we have a match tonight? Hey, Dominic, you scumbag. How about me and you one-on-one later? And of course, Dominic's like, yeah, let's go. And like AJ Styles called out Dominic for betraying his dad and different things like that. I thought it was pretty good. I pleasantly enjoyed it. And of course, I will get into the Styles match that he had with Dominic, of course, so stay tuned for that. Moving over here, it was Seth Rollins coming out basically celebrating his United States Championship win, of course, against Bobby Lashley this past week, and he got interrupted by Mustafa Ali. Ali coming out, of course, getting a push recently here on Raw. You could definitely notice it, and I'm glad he is, man. It's been such a long time. He's an underdog, and, he deserves it, man. He comes out, fire in the eyes, takes off the glasses of Rollins, but then Rollins kind of hits a cheap shot on Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali kind of brings up how Bobby Lashley owed him a United States title, so Seth Rollins should owe me a United States title match. But Seth is like, forget you. Do I look like Bobby Lashley? And it ends up in an all brawl. Sends him into the steel post, and then I'll kind of set up what happens later in the show. But as far as the promo goes in itself, I'm happy for Ali. That's actually really good, man. I am really happy for him. Moving over here, JBL. JBL's music hits. He comes out Monday Night Raw, and I almost forgot that he was the one that picked up Baron Corbin on that episode of SmackDown. So that's pretty cool. So him and Corbin are definitely aligned now. Baron Corbin had his first match in some time. I would say like 4 weeks on a WWE show. He fought Dolph Ziggler. It was Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin with JBL on commentary, and JBL on commentary is priceless. I find him amazing. I know people used to I guess he supposedly bullied people, but I mean, it's JBL. He's heel. What do you expect? But anyways, Corbin had a pretty good performance in the ring. Similar moveset. Nothing really has changed with Corbin, not going to lie. JBL calling Baron Corbin a wrestling god, what he used to call himself a long time ago. I find this really cool, and I'm interested to see where it's going to go. Of course, like I said, Corbin was able to hit the end of days on Dolph Ziggler to pick up the victory over Ziggler, and then JBL and him celebrated in the center of the ring. Like I said, that was a really, really good thing. Brand new for Corbin. No more happy Corbin. It's just Baron Corbin. And I like it. Moving over here, it was Candice LeRae and Bianca Belair going up against Dakota Kai and Io Sky. We had Bayley on commentary, and she posed as a big distraction for Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair ended up spearing Bayley over the announce desk, and they went into the chairs after Bayley tried to use a kendo stick on Bianca Belair, basically just distracting Bianca in order for Dakota Kai and Io Sky to hit a double team maneuver in the ring and pin Candice LeRae. This match was all right. It was actually pretty enjoyable to watch. I'm not even going to lie. It was actually pretty decent. But as far as it in a whole, the heels winning, you guys know how I feel about that. It was just okay. Moving over here, it was supposed to be Miz versus Dexter Lumis in a one-on-one match. If Dexter Lumis wins, he gets a contract in WWE. If Miz wins, then no more Dexter Lumis. So this was pretty interesting. So Miz fakes an injury backstage. He's in like the medical training room. Johnny Gargano scares him. He jumps back on his feet, not injured, supposedly having the match. Dexter Lumis is entering, steel chair to the back. And then he just wails a steel chair over the back of Dexter Lumis multiple times, saying he doesn't have to have the match with Dexter Lumis. I'm like, what the heck, Miz? Really? So he just took out Dexter Lumis. And Johnny Gargano was really pushing to the Miz that just tell the people the truth. Tell the fans the truth. What actually happened between you and Dexter Lumis? So I guess there's some sort of truth that we have not heard yet from the Miz that Johnny Gargano knows that the Miz does not want to expose. I'm interested to see what that truth is. What exactly is the Miz hiding? What happened between him and Dexter Lumis? But as far as the match not happening, I am personally not the biggest fan of that. Of course, moving over here, it was AJ Styles going up against Dominic Mysterio one-on-one. You had all of Judgment Day on ringside, and then, of course, all of the OC on ringside. Definitely posed a factor. Rhea Ripley distracting AJ Styles, pulling the leg of AJ Styles while the referee was distracted with Judgment Day and OC, and then Dominic was able to roll up AJ Styles and beat AJ Styles? What the heck was this? I was not a fan of this. As you guys know, AJ Styles is like one of my favorite wrestlers. And he got pinned by Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio pinned him. He pinned him with an easy roll-up, and then it was all over. I'm like, what? So I guess that seals the deal. OC's winning at the Crown Jewel. But as far as this match goes, mid AF. So mid. Moving over here, it was Elias, the return of Elias Simpson. Elias is back. He was in the center of the ring about to give us a song, and then Riddle interrupts. I was like, really, Riddle? I wanted to hear Elias go. He did mention Ezekiel a little bit, but it was very faint. So no more Ezekiel. Elias's beard was like, it was grown in, but it wasn't as grown in as it normally is. So you could definitely tell that obviously Ezekiel was Elias and Elias was Ezekiel. I knew that, but I'm just saying, just to confirm it even more. But anyways, Riddle's like, can we play my bongos? Can we play together? And then Elias was going along with it. Elias is basically saying he's a face. And then Seth Rollins interrupts. It jumps into the match between Riddle and Rollins. Elias stays on ringside, which I was kind of confused by. But anyways, Elias kind of goes in the ring after Seth Rollins had a cheap shot on him. And then Riddle kind of gets distracted after like a little altercation happens in the ring between them. And then Seth Rollins hits a curb stomp on Riddle to pick up the victory, and then Elias tries to come in, get a little redemption, hits a curb stomp on Elias. Seth Rollins retains the United States Championship right over here, but then you guys know who came out. It shocked me too. Ali came back out and attacked Seth Rollins after he was trying to finish the deal between him and Riddle. He was about to nail him again, but then Ali didn't let it happen. He came out and he assaulted Rollins. Rollins hightail jumped over the barricade and got out of there with his United States Championship. Pretty cool. They're ending the show with Ali. Definitely needs some work, this rivalry. I don't know if they're going to be doing Ali, Riddle, and Elias versus and Seth Rollins in a fatal four-way match, because Seth Rollins has three little rivalries already with people. Ali, Elias, Riddle. Like, who's he going to be defending the United States title against? You know what I'm saying? Is it going to be a fatal four-way? Is it going to be a one-on-one between him and Ali? Obviously, the main focus was between him and Ali, but is it going to be a fatal four-way? We'll have to wait and see. But as far as this Monday Night Raw goes, in a whole, it wasn't a half-bad show. In the end, I'm going to give it a solid... I'm going to give it a solid, 3 out of 5. It's lucky for getting a 3. It was just an okay show. It was kind of boring, I'm not going to lie. But it still was definitely fresh. Definitely fresher than any Vince show from 2019 to, the mid-2022. But yes, guys, that has been Monday Night Raw. Now we're going to jump into SmackDown. Continuing the week in review here with SmackDown, we are going to jump right in. But before we do, guys, make sure to check out the Pro Wrestling Podcast. Link in the description to my second channel where I do a full podcast of Raw and SmackDown. The first one's going to be on SmackDown, debuting today. So head on over to that channel. Give it a subscribe. Check out the podcast. It's going to be way more in-depth than the week in review. So if you want a more in-depth, detailed analyst of Raw and SmackDown every single week, check out the Pro Wrestling Podcast. It is my second channel. Link in the description. But without further ado, starting over here, we had our opening match, which opened up with the Brawling Brutes. The Brawling Brutes, Sheamus, Ridge the Fridge, and Butch. They came out, and it was a one-on-one match. It was Sheamus going one-on-one with Solo Sikoa, and I really enjoyed this match. It was a pretty hard-hitting match. Not too many distractions from the Bloodline on ringside up until the end. Sami Zayn tried getting involved. He jumped on the apron to distract Sheamus, and then there was a big altercation between Jimmy and Jay and Ridge the Fridge and Butch, where they got sent under the announce desk. They got buried by the freaking announce desk. This is literally opening match and opened with a bang. And then, of course, Solo Sikoa, after those distractions, Sheamus was distracted. He was able to hit the spinning solo on Sheamus to pick up the victory. And I was like, oh, man, Solo with another victory. Really good looking. Solo Sikoa has been dominating the competition over the past couple weeks. He's looking great. He beat Sheamus, a former world champion here. And then right after the match, this was so uncalled for. They grabbed a steel chair and they just started working over Sheamus's arm that was damaged during the match. They hit steel chair shots over the steel stairs with it. It was just a 4-on-1 attack on Sheamus after the match. And I was like, man, it's so uncalled for. But of course, for the Bloodline, that is an absolute W. Sami Zayn called it off. He's like, okay, that's enough. After they broke Sheamus' arm. But as far as the opening match goes, it was a freaking kick-ass opening match. I really enjoyed it. Sheamus and Solo Sikoa, they really went balls to the wall, giving us a absolutely amazing match. Right after that, we had a Bray Wyatt promo. Bray Wyatt did not enter out into the arena, but he had a little backstage promo, and I definitely want to talk about it. He was backstage. It was pretty cool. They did have his music going on during the entire thing, and I kind of found it hard to hear him as he was talking. I had to turn up my TV and really focus on what he was saying because I could barely hear him. But he was talking about how he's going to be doing some horrible things. He and I quote, he said, "I'm going to be doing some horrible things," something like that. And what does he mean by that? I felt like he was talking to somebody anonymous. I think he's fighting a demon in his mind. I'm not 100% positive, but he said he's going to be doing some horrible things, and I'm interested to see what those horrible things are going to be. Moving to our next match here, it was Liv Morgan going up against Sonya Deville one-on-one. This match was pretty decent. Liv Morgan obviously showing a more crazy side during this match, smiling as she's getting slapped in the face, different things like that. It ended up in a count-out, which I wasn't really the biggest fan of, but I understand why they did it, because Liv Morgan didn't really care about the victory. She just wanted to kick Sonya Deville's ass, and she did just that. She beat her up against the freaking steel stairs, steel post. She used steel chairs to do a superplex not onto Sonya Deville, but to Sonya Deville on steel chairs. I'm like, oh my goodness, wicked suplex. Liv Morgan showing a more aggressive side. I love it. Does this mean she might join Bray Wyatt? I don't know. I hope not. I hope she just does her own thing and just is this crazy chick running around SmackDown. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, notice steel chairs. Very, very interesting. I'll keep you guys posted on that. Moving over here, it was Omos and Braun Strowman going face to face. And before Omos even came out, MVP came out, and Braun Strowman challenged Omos, and MVP, on behalf of Omos, accepted the challenge at the Crown Jewel between him and Omos. I'm like, why doesn't Omos accept that challenge? I don't know why they did that. I feel like Omos should have been face-to-face with Braun while Braun made that challenge. I thought that was kind of dumb. But anyway, it's going to be Omos versus Braun Strowman at Crown Jewel. Omos eventually comes out. He goes face-to-face with Braun Strowman, and Omos is about a foot taller, maybe a little under a foot taller than Braun Strowman. It is absolutely insane. He was standing right in front of him like, oh my God, he's at least like 10 inches tall. He's like a full head taller than Braun Strowman. I was like, oh my God, these figures do not do justice on how taller Omos is than Braun. And he simply just pushes Braun Strowman right out of the ring and walks away. I'm like, oh man, I liked that interaction that they had. I'm glad it didn't escalate farther than that. Just a little push to Braun, sends him out of the ring, sending him a message that he should not be that confident going into Crown Jewel. I enjoyed that. Moving over here is Ludwig Kaiser going one-on-one with Rey Mysterio. This match was pretty decent. Rey Mysterio used that little Eddie Guerrero chair technique on the outside of the ring where he dropped the chair on the floor and then faked like he was getting hit in the face with it, and the ref turns around, thought it was Gunther that hit him. Gunther and Giovanni Vinci get kicked off a ringside, and then in the end, Rey Mysterio is able to get the best of Ludwig Kaiser and hit the 619 and pick up the victory. I thought it was pretty good, but once again, steel chairs, and a steel chair used in the Rey Mysterio match. 3 steel chair spots in this entire show. I thought that was absolutely crazy. But good to see Rey Mysterio kicking some ass here on SmackDown. He's finally winning matches, and he looks great, man. He looks great. He has a future IC title match against Gunther in the future, and I'm looking forward to it. It's 2 weeks away. Hopefully he can pick up the victory. You know what I'm saying? I doubt it, but it'll be awesome. Moving over here is a women's tag team championship match. Raquel Rodriguez and Shotzi going 2-on-2 against Dakota Kai and Io Sky Damage Control. This was a pretty decent tag team match. Bayley did get involved and distracted. I believe it was Shotzi in order for Io Sky and Dakota Kai to pick up the victory. Io Sky was able to hit the moonsault off the top rope to Shotzi and pick up the victory after the distraction from Bayley. I felt like the distraction from Bayley was a little unnecessary. I feel like it would have been totally fine if they just won clean. But Raquel and Shotzi, they were working really, really good together. I'm not just saying that. They were working really good together, doing some awesome double teams. It was great. Moving over here, it was the main promo of the show, if you will. It was Logan Paul. Logan Paul returning to SmackDown, coming out, how he's going to take out Roman Reigns, how he only needs that one lucky shot to knock out Roman Reigns at the Crown Jewel. Everybody underestimating him, but he's going to take him out. He gets sneak attacked by Jey Uso, who was told not to attack him by Sami Zayn and the tribal chief Roman Reigns. So you got to think there's going to be some repercussions for Jey Uso for trying to attack Logan Paul. As Sami Zayn comes out, tries to calm down Jey Uso and bring him back to his senses, tell him he's not supposed to be doing this because of the tribal chief's orders. Jey Uso gets knocked out by Logan Paul. One punch knocks him out. I loved the visual, just showing what could happen to Roman Reigns at the Crown Jewel. One lucky blow to the face of Roman, knockout, 1, 2, 3. It could happen. You never freaking know. I love that ending spot with Jey Uso. But yeah, guys, that was SmackDown Setup Style. Again, if you guys want to see a more in-depth podcast review of this entire show, interviews, backstage segments, everything like that, check out the Pro Wrestling Podcast. Link in the description. Going to be doing the first podcast on SmackDown this week today. Stay tuned for it. If it's not up already on the channel, stay tuned for it. It's going up this Saturday. But yeah, guys, I really got to enjoy the SmackDown side of the video. I'm going to give SmackDown a solid 3 out of 5. I thought it was a really well put together show. I love the matches. I love the storytelling. I thought everything was awesome about this show. 3 out of 5. Definitely 3 out of 5. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the week in review here this week. And feel free to subscribe to the Bretto Live channel. Drop a like in this video. And I'll see you guys next time. Bretto Live out.